guys, in this video I'm going to interview Christina. She's all the way from the USA and she does tarot readings. We found each other on Instagram of all places and we are joining the dots up. We are thinking we are soul sisters. Back in the day in Lemuria together and being sisters there. So it's really interesting what came out on this reading as the first card. So we hope you enjoy the video. Reach out to Christina if you feel like you are called to get a reading. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul and we hope you like the video. Hey guys, it's Roxanne here. Today I have Christine. She's all the way from the USA, our beautiful connection that I found, and we found each other on Instagram, and she's a beautiful awakened soul and a sister, I'm sure, a soul sister. And she is here today as her gifts are opening up. So we're going to have a little reading. So welcome, Christine.
Thank you.
So tell us, how did you get into all of this, this gift?
Well, I've always been attracted to tarot. And when I was younger, it was one of those things that kind of scared me, to be honest with you, because I didn't understand it. But it kept drawing me back. And I kept, saying, no, this is crazy stuff. And then eventually I began to realize that I couldn't deny my gifts anymore and I needed to work with the tarot. And so probably about 10 years ago is when I got my first deck, and I just kind of used it as an oracle and used it for fun and at parties. And I was realizing that it was an excellent tool for me to learn how to understand the energy coming in that was speaking through me, and realize that there was a lot more to me in helping people understand messages from spirit, from their guides, from past family members and things like that. And when people started crying in every other reading, they're like, oh, I can't believe you know this. And I'm like, it's not me, but yeah. So I see it as, sort of a channel, or in a way, to help people, touch base and to hear things they need to hear.
Beautiful.
It's evolved. Like when we were speaking earlier, I was just telling you about how the decks talk to me. And sometimes I'll hear one on a shelf, these shelves behind me here, and it'll say, it's time now. It's time to pull me down.
Amazing.
And I don't know why. Yeah. And so I do. And then I find out that it's a deck that wants to work with, a couple of people that were coming in that I didn't know, So it's pretty neat. They have a life of their own. They have an energy. And like, for instance, one of the decks that wanted to work with you today, give you a message, is this deck. And it's the fairy deck.
Aww.
So, and the fairy deck is like fairies. I mean, it has that kind of personality. It's very cheeky. It's very, usually funny, or at least lots of times I feel vibrations that make me giggle when I'm looking at their cards. So it's interesting. It's like personalities and all kinds of things that are going on here.
Yeah. So magical.
Yeah, it does feel like magic. And I definitely, I feel blessed that the tarot's been willing to work with me. And the way I work with tarot is, it's all intuitive. I don't do, the tip that lots of times in tarots, they have traditional ways of laying the tarot out and reading it from, one position to the other and all kinds of things. But that's not how the tarot wants to work with me. As a matter of fact, I took a class because I thought I was doing it wrong. And the teacher said to me, as a matter of fact, you're doing it more right. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, that's your style and you can't change it. It's going to fight you. So you need to go with that flow of the intuitive reading of it. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
So we are going to do a reading then today for me. And I guess I didn't really set an intention, but an intention just to be as open and to hear any guidance that I need for my life and this now moment. So, yeah, I guess, is that all you need to know?
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that I knew you were going to say that. So, and I just, cause I asked, I said, is she gonna need a specific? And they're like, no, she's gonna want just let's see what happens.
Yeah, beautiful. The way life should be, hey?
Exactly. So the first deck, and I've laid them out the way they asked to be. And the first deck is my traditional tarot. And because I'm an herbalist, this deck really spoke to me because it is a deck, and I'll show you a picture here. It is a deck that is a traditional deck, but it also has herbs in it.
Okay.
So, all right, let's see what it says here. Let me just do a few more shuffles till I feel. All right. Well, this is interesting. So this is the Four of Wands. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go to the next deck, and we're going to, this is the fairy deck.
Yeah.
And the reading will happen after all the cards are picked.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So this one is titled New Home. Really pretty card.
Yeah.
Really pretty card. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how this all. I love it because it feels, it's so new every single time. And it literally fell out of the deck. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is Sophia.
Ooh. What
Very
does that
pretty.
mean?
Well,
I love
for
this
me,
so much.
this one is yeah, this one's really interesting, and I can't wait to tell you because it's like flooding in right now.
Oh,
So I know it just be quiet. I got one more deck. Okay,
sorry.
so hold on a second here. Not you. All right, let's see. This one is Earth Magic, this deck, and it's a newer deck for me to use. It's one that kind of came off the shelf a few weeks ago and said it's time. Okay. Huh, okay. So this one is Dawn, New Beginnings.
Oh, beautiful.
I know. All right. All right. So I swear to God, this is true. I swear to God, because it's so weird. All right. So take a good look. Look at those two fairies.
Oh, no, I know what you're going to say, I think.
Uh-huh. So they look somewhat familiar now, don't they?
Yeah. Oh.
So this is the joining of a new friendship, my friend. And it's about you and me.
Mm. Oh, my
I've never had that happen. I know. I just got chills. I never had that happen. Wow. Oh my God, I could cry. I'm supposed to make everyone else cry.
Isn't that beautiful?
It really is. I can't wait to send you a picture of this. So anyways, this isn't this. Okay. I'm having a little trouble here. I apologize.
You're fine.
So notice the colors here. I just want to, so that you can see this. We're going to be working with the emotional and the heart chakra. So, you know, the the solar plexus and the heart chakra. Our connection is in there.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's also telling me, it's also telling me that we're going to be building something. So that's pretty neat too. So if you look here, the wands, now traditionally they represent particular things in the traditional tarot. But in this case, what we're looking at there is that both of us are starting to build. And that our connection is going to be probably somewhat magnetic and really cool. So I'm going to leave it at that because I feel that it's perfect. Like, I just feel that that's perfect. Sometimes I want to keep talking and I almost feel like that's enough said.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really nice. Now the fennel seed, it's interesting. It's kind of talking right now about just the groundedness of plants and like how we are grounding in and planting ourselves to really become a form together. So I'm not quite sure what that means right at this moment, but it's about being grounded. Wow, that's pretty funny. You know what? I never pull this card ever. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so the next one. Oh, that was so fun.
Isn't that so beautiful?
I know. So the next one is from the Fairies, and this is the new home card. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. So I just want to show that to you again. Okay. And this card isn't about per se moving into a new home, although I'll tell you, I'm looking to do that myself. But for you, like this, the home is not a house. The home is everything else around you. So this is kind of supporting that. Oh, okay. So what this card is saying is that as you're developing, as you're expanding, and as you're ascending, they're simply saying to you, you are moving, and be comfortable with that because it is your home. So just know that you're always going to be home no matter what, no matter how you change and shift. So don't feel, don't worry. They're telling you, don't worry, because it's always going to be home.
Beautiful.
And you got those little baby boys too.
Yeah, that just resonates because everything is shifting so fast in our life, and it's so beautiful. Yeah. And you're right, like the home isn't moving, but everything in our life is shifting and moving.
Yeah.
And that's like moving home, like we're moving from one reality to another reality, or another frequency, from the other frequency to the higher frequencies and beyond, right? So
exactly. And it will always be home.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry. I've had a little bit of that myself, in terms of what I'm feeling here, was just like, well, where am I going? And am I still gonna want to be here? That's been my experience. And it's like, yeah, you are. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be pretty. So yeah, it's just kind of giving you a reassurance and support that you will always be home.
Okay.
No matter how fast it moves.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so this one I'm excited about because it was just like, it wanted to speak so bad. Okay. So this is Sophia. And this is a deck. This is an oracle deck, which is Mary Magdalene. And yeah, the feminine quality of this, like the feminine energy, I mean, is really high in this. So Sophia, the colors in that stand out to me quite a bit. You know, working more in love. But what it was telling me and is supporting is that this is about teaching. So this is about you blossoming like a rose, just expanding and opening up, and every petal is an aspect of you. And every petal is just this beautiful, I mean, if you think of a rose and you just kind of feel the petals and how soft they are. And so yeah, it's just really about this very soft and beautiful opening. And it's about education. And I think it's about you learning, but it's also about you teaching. And I don't know if you ever heard of Pan Sophia. Well, it's something that I looked into because it came to me when I was speaking to a bush. Quite frankly, it was a bunch of grass, you know, I mean. When I first started going back to my roots, which was working with nature, and I sat and spent time with this unusual, no one would ever notice clump of bushy grass thing. I don't even know what it was. And it kept telling me Pan Sophia. And I thought it was saying Pan sofa, as in a, you know, a sofa you sit on.
Yeah.
And then I went back the next day and I said, I need clarity. I don't even understand, like a pan from your kitchen, a sofa from your living room, you know? And it was like, no, Pan Sophia. And so I looked it up, and it is it's a very old group that is you know, it's a education, it's very mystical and magical and whatnot. And I just thought it was really fascinating, but it's always stuck in my head. And you know, so as soon as I saw Sophia, it just went zoop.
Yeah, the memory of it. I can feel that actually. It feels wise and ancient, magical in a sense. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is. And I didn't really look much further into it from there. I just was curious what it was. And every once in a while when it pops back, so this is the second time since I did that. That was probably a good 8 years ago when I sat with that. Yeah. And since I've done that, just this year, I had Pan Sophia be presented to me about a month ago. And I was like, am I supposed to come back to it? And then who comes in? Is this reading for me or you?
I think
I'm trying to figure it out.
Like a feeling for like reconnection of soul family in a sense, like the Lemurian past. I just fully connected in there when you explained that before the video, when we started the chat. So that's really interesting. I was like, oh, what's that? That's interesting. Just park that.
I know. So something's happening here.
Something's happening. No wonder why we found each other.
I know. So Sophia, yeah. So I mean, it's just like you're gonna blossom, and it's gonna be just this beautiful, soft, loving blossom. So enjoy it, but know that not only are you learning, you're going to be doing more teaching. Yeah. I love that. So, and then of course we come to the last card here, which is the new beginning in dawn. I love these cards because they're pretty straightforward, and they give you a lot of depth many times when you just look into them. And you can almost get lost in them sometimes. But what I'm seeing here is the theme of the grounding, the theme of the working in that emotional chakra, and the heart is coming back. So it's kind of like you started with it and then you're ending with it as well. And so it's just kind of rounding off what you already know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it is a new beginning, but it's like everything is a new beginning right now. I mean, this whole year has just been a new beginning for everybody. Well, almost everybody. And so what this is saying here is like, okay, so you've like done this year and you're coming to an end with it, and just you wait. And I just feel like it's, again, a very like every single one of these are very just soft and subtle and like ease. So it's feeling like this is just going to be an easy transformation. You know, you may not have this like, you know, moment. It just might be a little easier than maybe this past year has been with bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
You know,
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. It's just such a, it's like your little fairies are just excited to work with you. And that's the other thing too, is the fairy theme is pretty strong here. Do you connect with them at all?
Yeah, there's a fairy realm that I've visited in travels, and there's a fairy guide, Rochelle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think it just feels to me like that is, oh, I see them zipping across from the US to Australia. I see them. I see like this like almost this stream. Yeah, this is interesting because what they're showing me is just like this stream between you and me. And it's just a flow, and it's just a magnet, and it's just like happiness. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't like to feel like I'm predicting something, but maybe I
just keep letting it flow out.
I know. I do start to hold back sometimes because I'm like, God, I sound like I'm predicting the future, which I'm not trying to do at all.
No.
But the guidance here is pretty common, of just go with the flow. The new beginnings are starting. Everything is going to just open and blossom.
Beautiful.
And it's a nice message.
It really does resonate for me because we are in this bit of a pause like place, and we feel like we're anchoring that, you know, more stronger, solid connection, like with the energy, anchoring that light into our bodies, and just realizing that the 5D consciousness and that flow is more in the now moment, and it's like easy, and it just is graceful and delicate and beautiful, and it just moves in there. So we've been reminded this week of that, and so this is just a beautiful confirmation that is just like that interception of
just saying, you're right, what you're doing is right, and which is nice to hear.
Yeah, it is, because sometimes obviously everyone understands this, and this journey, it's just feels so wild and crazy, and then beautiful and loving, and you meet people like yourself and you connect, and it's just, nothing's a coincidence. The universe has such a beautiful way to make everything so divine, and it's just really nice to be able to trust that instead of doing the old 3D hustle, force, you know, and just
Yeah.
taking your hands off the wheel and letting it just play out the way it's meant to be. So beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to see what rolls out in a future moment. So how can everyone get a hold of you if they'd like a reading with you as well?
Well, probably the best is Instagram right now.
Yeah.
And that would be Herbalist in the Woods. Or my name, I put both on there so it's easy to find, Christine Mckim.
Yeah.
And maybe you could
I'll
that
tag
in,
it in the
yeah.
below the video as well so everyone can find you.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you
that's the
so
best one.
much.